I upgraded my phone every single year for 5 years. I traded in my old phone every time. I got credit. I told myself I was being smart. Why keep an old phone when I could put its value toward the new one? Over 5 years, I saved $2,100 in trade-in credits. I still lost $4,847. That's not a typo. I saved money and lost money at the same time. And if that math doesn't make sense to you yet, that's exactly how they want it. I'm going to show you how the upgrade cycle actually works. Not the version they sell you, but the version that shows up in your bank account. By the end of this video, you'll either stop upgrading every year, or you'll finally understand exactly what that decision costs. I'm Kai. I make videos about money traps disguised as smart decisions. If you've ever told yourself it's only $30 more a month, or my trade-in covers most of it, this one's for you. Let me start with how I got here. 5 years ago, I bought a new phone. Flagship model. $1,000 even. I financed it through my carrier because paying $42 a month felt easier than paying $1,000 at once. That's how they get you through the door. Not with the price, but with the payment. I told myself I'd keep this phone for years. I really believed that. I'd finally upgraded from my old phone. I had the best camera, the fastest processor, the newest software. Why would I need to change? 11 months later, the new model came out. Slightly better camera, faster processor, a new color I liked better. And my carrier sent me an email. Upgrade now and get up to $400 for your trade-in. $400. My phone was worth $400. The new model cost $1,000. If I upgraded now, I'd only be paying $600 for the new one. That's basically half off. That's a good deal, right? I didn't even think about it. I upgraded. Here's what I didn't calculate. I still owed $280 on my old phone. When I traded it in, that balance didn't disappear. It got rolled into my new financing agreement. So I wasn't paying $600 for the new phone. I was paying $600 plus $280 in remaining balance from the old one. $880. For a phone I told myself cost $600. But it gets worse. When you finance through a carrier, you're often locked into a promotional deal that requires you to stay for the full term, usually 36 months. If you upgrade early, you lose the promotional credits. If you pay it off early to leave, you owe the remaining balance immediately. I didn't read that part. I just saw $400 trade-in and felt smart. Year 1 cost $880, not including the monthly service I was paying anyway. Now let's do year 2. New model comes out. My phone is 11 months old again. Trade-in value $450. The new phone costs $1,100. Prices went up as they do every year. I owed $190 on my current phone. So the real cost, $1,100 minus $450 trade-in plus $190 remaining balance. $840. I told myself I was only paying $650 after trade-in. I was actually paying $840. Year 2 cost $840. Year 3, same cycle, same email, same math that seemed reasonable until I actually did it. By this point, I wasn't really choosing anymore. I was just continuing. The upgrade had become automatic, not because I needed a new phone, but because September meant new phone. That's what I did now. New phone, $1,200. Prices keep climbing every year. That's not inflation, that's strategy. Trade-in value on my year-old phone, $420. Remaining balance on my financing, $210. Real cost, $1,200 minus $420 plus $210, $990. And I wasn't just spending this money, I was locking it out of ever becoming something else. Every dollar that went into a phone I'd trade in next year was a dollar that couldn't grow. But I didn't think about that then. I was too busy noticing something else. Every time I upgraded, I needed new accessories. The case from last year didn't fit. Different dimensions, different camera bump, screen protector, new cable, accessories, year 3, $85. I never counted these before. They felt like separate purchases, unrelated expenses. But they weren't separate. They were part of the upgrade cycle, a hidden tax on top of the phone itself. Year 3 total, $1,075. Year 4. By now, I had a routine. New model announced in September. Trade-in email arrives the same week. I click the link, see the credit, feel like I'm getting a deal, and confirm the upgrade before I've done any real math. New phone, $1,200. Trade-in, $380. Remaining balance, $240. $1,060 for the phone. Accessories, $65. New MagSafe charger, because now my phone supported wireless charging and I needed to actually use the feature I was already paying for. A new case because the old brand didn't make one for this model yet. Year 4 total, $1,125. Year 5, same routine, same email, same click. I didn't even look at the specs anymore. I just knew. New phone, September, done. New phone, $1,300. Trade-in, $400. Remaining balance, $190. $1,090. Accessories, $72. Year 5 total, $1,162. 5 years, 5 phones, each one slightly better than the last. Each one traded in before it stopped working. Each one replaced before I could even tell you what was wrong with it, because nothing was wrong with it. Now, let's add it up. The real 5-year cost of upgrading every year. Year 1, $880. Year 2, $840. Year 3, $1,075. Year 4, $1,125. Year 5, $1,162. Total spent over 5 years, $5,082. Total trade-in credits received, $2,100. 5 phones, 5 trade-ins. 5 years of telling myself I was getting a deal. Here's the part that broke my brain. I saved $2,100 in trade-in credits, but I still spent $5,082. If I hadn't traded in anything, if I just bought each phone outright at full price with no credits at all, I would have spent $5,800. The trade-ins saved me $718 over 5 years. Not $2,100, not even close. $718. The other $1,382 in savings was just money I gave them early that they gave back to me later and called it a discount. You're not getting a discount. You're selling back your own property at a fraction of what you paid for it, and they're framing it as a reward. And because you're financing the new phone, you're committed to the full price, while they hold your trade-in value hostage until you complete the term. Miss a payment, break the agreement, switch carriers early, and that trade-in credit can vanish or convert to charges. Now let me show you what this looks like from the outside. My friend bought the same phone I bought 5 years ago. Same model, same price. $1,000. We bought them on the same day, actually. We were both excited. We both thought we'd keep them for years. I didn't. He did. He still has it. It still works. The camera is fine. Actually, it's the same camera sensor that was revolutionary when we both bought it. The battery was replaced once for $80 at a repair shop. He bought one case when he got the phone and one screen protector. That's it. 5 years, one phone, one case, one battery replacement. His total cost, $1,130. My total cost, $5,082. We text each other every day. I cannot tell which phone is which from the messages. We take photos together when we hang out. His look the same as mine, sometimes better, because he's had 5 years to learn his camera. We use the same apps. They run identically. The only difference I can actually perceive is that his phone is a little thicker because of the battery replacement, and mine is a little thinner because it's newer. A difference I paid $3,952 to achieve. Let that number sit for a second. $3,952. That's the gap between us after 5 years. Same starting point, same phone, same day of purchase. The only difference is that I upgraded every year and he didn't. And here's the thing that actually makes me angry. His phone still works. My phone from year one would still work too, if I hadn't traded it in for $400, so I could pay $880 for a phone that was barely different. Every phone I traded in still worked. I didn't upgrade because something broke. I didn't upgrade because I needed something my phone couldn't do. I upgraded because they made me feel like keeping it was falling behind. That's the psychology. Every September, like clockwork, the marketing machine activates. Your current phone is obsolete. The camera isn't good enough anymore. The processor is showing its age. You're missing features you didn't know you needed until they told you. And look, the trade-in value is dropping every day. Act now before your phone is worthless. They've turned phone ownership into a countdown clock. Not a countdown to when your phone stops working, it won't stop working, but a countdown to when its trade-in value drops below the threshold that makes upgrading feel worth it. That's the trick. They're not selling you a phone. They're selling you a feeling. The feeling that you're behind if you don't upgrade, and the feeling that you're smart if you do. Every feature announcement is designed to make your current phone feel inadequate. Every trade-in offer is timed to hit when your phone still has enough value to make the math look reasonable. Every monthly payment is calculated to feel small enough that you don't do the annual multiplication. Every email lands in September like clockwork, but here's what they don't tell you. Your phone isn't getting worse. It's doing exactly what it did the day you bought it. The processor that was blazing fast a year ago is still blazing fast. The camera that took beautiful photos still takes beautiful photos. The new phone isn't solving a problem. It's creating a feeling. The feeling that you're behind. The feeling that you're settling. The feeling that the upgrade is basically free because look at that trade-in credit. It's not free. It was never free. The credit is just your own money, recycled and relabeled. Let me show you what that money could have done. Remember the line I mentioned earlier about locking money out of ever becoming something else? Here's what I mean. $5,082 over 5 years. That's money I spent. Money that's gone. Money that bought me devices I no longer own, features I can't remember, and a feeling that evaporated the moment the next model was announced. If I had invested that instead, let's say in an index fund averaging 8% annually, here's what happens. Year 1. I invest $880 instead of upgrading. Year 2. I add $840. My account is now growing. Year 3. I add $1,075. Compound interest is working. Year 4. I add $1,125. The snowball is building. Year 5. I add $1,162. After 5 years of contributions plus compound growth, that account is worth approximately $6,200. $6,200. Real money. Money that exists. Money that keeps growing even after I stop adding to it. Money that works for me instead of depreciating in my pocket. Instead, I have a phone that will be worth $300 in 11 months when they send me another email telling me it's time to upgrade again. A phone that will be worth $150 in 2 years. A phone that will be worth nothing in 3. I traded $6,200 in potential wealth for a device that depreciates to 0. And I did it 5 times in a row while telling myself I was being smart about trade-ins. Here's what I do differently now. I bought my current phone 2 years ago. I'm still using it. Nothing is wrong with it. The camera takes the same photos it took when I bought it. The apps run fine. The battery lasts a full day. The screen hasn't cracked because I bought a decent case, 2 years in, and I haven't felt the urge to upgrade. Not once. Because I finally understand what that urge actually is. It's not a need. It's manufactured dissatisfaction. It's a feeling engineered by people who profit when I act on it. I stopped counting the months until the new model drops. I stopped checking trade-in values like their stock prices. I stopped watching the keynote presentations that exist specifically to make me feel like my current phone is inadequate. I unsubscribed from the tech channels that frame every upgrade as essential. And I stopped believing that only $30 more a month is a small number, because $30 a month is $360 a year. And $360 a year over 5 years is $1,800 before you even count the phone itself. The monthly payment is designed to make the annual cost invisible. The annual cost is designed to make the 5-year cost unthinkable. And the trade-in is designed to make you feel like you're winning when you're actually just losing slower. So I made myself think about the 5-year cost. I added up the receipts. I did the math they don't want you to do, and now I can't stop seeing it. Here's the rule. I wish I'd known 5 years ago. A phone is a tool. If the tool still works, you don't need a new one. And if the only reason you're upgrading is because they told you your tool is outdated, that's not a reason. That's marketing dressed up as necessity. That's a business model disguised as advice. The trade-in isn't a deal. It's a return policy that pays you pennies on the dollar for something you already own. The monthly payment isn't affordable. It's a disguise that hides an annual expense. Keep the phone. Skip the cycle. Invest the difference. Watch it grow. I spent $5,082 to have the newest phone every year for 5 years. I could have spent $1,130 and had the exact same experience. The $4,000 difference didn't buy me anything real. It bought me the feeling of not falling behind. But I was never behind. I was just paying to stay on a treadmill that goes nowhere. A treadmill that resets every September. And at the end of 5 years, I have exactly one phone, the same number I would have had if I'd never upgraded at all. One phone. $5,000 gone. If this breakdown changed how you think about upgrades, subscribe. I make videos about the money traps that feel smart until you see the receipts. 5 years of receipts. 5 years of receipts. That's what it finally took for me to see it. Don't wait 5 years.